Okay, well, here we go. Let's begin. I think I'm gonna go ahead and clean them all up with some paper towel and brake clean first, and then I don't know, mark them down, I guess, which are which and where do they go, and that's it. We'll do intake buckets in one bag maybe, and exhaust buckets in another bag, and then I'll write on them where they came from. 1, 2, so 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 4, 4, 2, so that I know that, you know, where they all came from. Anyways, okay, tear down. So what you saw me doing in the time lapse is I labeled every cap individually, so which cylinder it is, and then if it's the first or the second, because each has a primary port, or I guess 2 intake ports and 2 exhaust ports, right? So we know exactly what bucket came from where. Now the Sharpie is probably not going to stick on here very well, so what I also did is I turned all the caps, all the buckets upside down, and I took a picture and some video to see exactly, you know, what size went where. So when we put it all back together, it should be exactly how it was when it came apart. It's based on these stampings, it's not going to get messed up, even if my numbers come off on top. But yeah, buckets are out and they're organized, and we're not going to have any problem getting these back in there. I made a little bag here, so we know these are from the intake side, and these are from the exhaust side, so these will go in another Ziploc bag to be labeled exhaust side. Yeah, nice and easy way of doing this, so you don't have to go through and lash every single valve. I'm probably going to check lasher anyways before the motor, you know, gets final assembly, but it should be fine. Well, this is where we leave it for today. All the buckets are out, they're labeled, we know where they're going back. For next time, so this weekend I'm going to come, we're going to pull the retainers, which either I need to find my buddy's spring compressor to compress these, and we'll pull out the little keepers and make sure we save all that stuff, because that's annoying to get, a little expensive. But yeah, we'll pull all the retainers, the keepers, the springs. These ones will go in the garbage. And then we'll drop all the valves out and clean them. They need to be cleaned. This engine has dirty valves, as you saw earlier in the footage. So yes, we are cleaning the valves for sure. We'll do them by hand. There's a how-to on the forums made by a member who's assembled his own motor, and we're going to use that. We're going to take a look and see how well that goes. All right. Well, we're back at it. Today, what we're going to do, or what we're going to try and do, is remove the springs, the valve springs, for the intake valves at least, because as we remember, these are they're dirty and they're nasty. So we're gonna pull the valve springs out. I'm using this big spring compressor tool, which I've never used before, so that's gonna be new. I'm gonna try and figure that out. I mean, it doesn't look too complicated, so we'll see the process. But yeah, I want to remove the intake valves. So all of these, they're gonna go in a bag labeled, and I'm either gonna try and clean them with chemicals or take them to somewhere that can walnut blast them or soda blast them, just soft media, so we don't damage the valves. But I mean, I'd rather clean them up myself just for time. It's faster. But if I can't get a clean on them that I'm happy with, then it is what it is. They're gonna come out and they're gonna go out somewhere. I might have to pull the exhaust studs there, you know, in order to get the spring compressor on there nice and easy without the head falling over. But I don't know, we'll see. I mean, it should be okay. It might be okay, I don't know. This is all new to me, but we're gonna figure it out, and yeah, we're gonna see how it does. So I'll roll the time lapse and get going. All right, so I figured out the spring compressor tool, and I got it to work. So I took one out, and it's pretty straightforward. Trying not to lose those keepers is gonna be good luck. I wish I had a little more work area, but honestly, it's fine. Anyway, so I pulled the one out. So there it is, the spring, oops, and the retainer. So these won't be reused. I've got new retainers for the new springs. Look at these kind of beehive style, which is kind of fancy for OEM, but these are soft. You can tell they don't really require a ton of pressure. So that's why, you know, high RPM, not what is ideal. Anyways, the OEM stuff, I'll probably just make a pile over here for now, and I'll put them in a bag, I'll tag them, and it'll get used for, who knows, future project or something. But here's my bag of keepers. 2 per, so let's not lose those. But now that I've got the spring compressor tool figured out, I've got my magnet, we can fly through them. But I just wanted to show you the first valve here that I take out. You know what, here, let's go where there's a little more light. It's not as bad as I thought. So it is carboned up, and like there's a thick deposit right here along kind of the base of it, but the valve itself, you can even still see where it was cut to the head or lapped. There's no buildup there, so I'm hoping, you know, some brake clean, maybe a light soaking in something, and I can clean this myself. I hope I don't have to send it somewhere, but I didn't bring any carbon cleaning gear with me. Brake clean, maybe, that's about it. But it's not even that crust, like it's not that hard yet, as you can see, so it might not be terrible. Yeah, anyways, valves also need to go in a bag and get labeled. So we're gonna do that, but anyways, let's carry on. Okay, so all of the retainers and keepers, valve springs have been removed. These guys are like $9 each or something stupid at the dealer, so I'll make sure not to lose any of them. And they're gonna be going into safekeeping for sure, not in there. They're gonna go with all my other stuff. But anyways, let's pull out these valves and see how they look. Whew. Yeah, see, so this one's got some gunk on it. Let's take a look under the light. Yeah, it's not terrible. I mean, the carbon's bad, but again, it's kind of just on the surface. It shouldn't be too bad to get out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull all the valves, and then I'll show you guys kind of how I'm keeping them in order. And I'll try and clean them off a little bit. But yeah, that was it. So this is how I'm keeping them organized. I know that this valve came out of cylinder 1, and it was the first one in cylinder 1. This is the second valve from cylinder 1. Cylinder 2 first valve, cylinder 2 second valve, so on and so forth. So basically what I'm going to do to clean these guys is I'm going to go one at a time, take it out, you know, see if I can even do it, or if I need to come back with some more cleaning material. But I'm going to try. I've got brake clean, I've got towels and cloths. I've heard wire wheel works just fine on these. So that's going to maybe be part of the cleaning process also. But like for 25,000 K, I want to say, that's so bad. These engines are so dirty. Yeah, wow. Okay, well, that's how I'm keeping them organized. Now, I haven't decided yet, or I don't know yet, I guess. I mean, I'm hoping not, but the valve seals, I think I might keep those how they are, because they look to be in pretty good shape. They're not crusty or cracked or doing any weird stuff. They do look good, so I think I'm probably going to keep those, and I'm not going to mess with those. And the exhaust side, I'm not going to touch. I mean, I've got to swap the springs back there also, but taking these out takes 2 seconds and put the new springs. I mean, maybe I'll just install them now. Yeah, let's do that. Let's install the exhaust springs, the new stuff. Why not, right? Okay, so these are the Crowler springs that I've got. There's the part number for anybody wondering. I think they're 75-pound springs, I want to say, something like that. Apparently they're good for 7,800 RPM, and I'm only aiming for, like I said, 74, 75, so more than enough. Just by looking at them, kind of first impressions, one thing you can tell is they are significantly stiffer than the OEM ones. I mean, like, I can't compress this almost barely even at all, you know, minor, maybe a little bit, but like, damn, they're stiff. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing really fancy with these. They're same shape on both sides. There's no, you know, this end up or this end down with these guys. They're not beehive or any of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop one on each valve here. And then we're going to, I guess, put the keeper on, which the keeper is also kind of tricky. It's a part number from GM. It's for like one of their, I think, a Sunfire or a Cobalt engine or something. And these springs are also not technically for a Mazda engine. They're for, I think, also something GM related. I don't know, you can check the part number on all this stuff if you're really curious about it, but it's stuff that's from the forums. I know people running it, and it works well, these springs and retainers. Again, this isn't an over-the-top, you know, max power build. It's kind of modest, so keeping with modest budget, that's where we're at. So anyways, here are the keepers, or retainers, I guess. The keepers, you use the OEM keeper, so that's why I was super careful not to lose those, whereas if I lose an OEM spring or an OEM retainer, it's not the end of the world. For these guys, they only come in packs of 20, which is annoying. So you gotta buy 20 of them, even though we only need 16, and they're expensive. they're not cheap, so it's kind of a little annoying that needs to happen, but they work. They're way cheaper than the Super Tech option, or that higher end expensive option. So yeah, here we go. I'm gonna put it together. I'm probably gonna have to take all these springs out. I don't know why I put them in, because, you know, I gotta lift the cylinder head up, get the spring compressor on it, and something tells me it's gonna require quite a bit more force to compress these. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so I've been at this for, I don't know, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, getting the exhaust side put together. So new Crowder springs are in there, retainers are there, keepers. I've got 3 more left to do, but each one takes maybe 15-20 minutes. Some of them went together a little easier, but it's just about finesse. You're trying to get those tiny little keepers. You know, there's 2 parts to them, and you got to drop both in there, and then you release the spring compressor, and you just got to pray that the keepers are in there and that they bite, because if they don't, you're going to be sending a spring, retainer, and your keeper across the shop. And I'm trying really hard to avoid that, because that would be a nightmare. So I'm going to press on. I haven't time-lapsed any of this because it's just taking way too long. So maybe when I get to the very last one, I'll just do a quick little time-lapse just to show the process, or even I'll just film. I'll save the last 2 and I'll roll some video, so you can kind of see what I'm doing. But yeah, no, it's been a little bit of work, which is fine. It's okay. You know, this kind of stuff takes time, but no big deal. We're gonna press on and we're gonna get this done. So let me show you some of the process, I guess, since I'm right in the middle of it. So there's the keeper. It's like the world's tiniest little thing, and you've got to drop it. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick up any of this, but you've got to drop it in there. So I got one in, and good luck getting the other one in now, because the spring compressor moves around, and as it moves, the size of the hole to drop the keeper in changes. So right now everything's leaning this direction to the left, so there's a nice gap up top there, but I can't get the retainer in there because the other half is there. So yeah, it's been a bit of a battle, but now you can see part of the pain. I mean, again, it's not a hard process. It's not difficult. It's very tricky, time consuming. Pretty much you go in with the magnet and you try to drop the keeper in while I use another screwdriver to push it off of the magnet, because it's such a small piece. This magnet's so strong that once you get in there, you can't release it, or you'll end up with both keepers sticking to the magnet. So yeah, it's definitely a process. It definitely takes some work. Let's get it. Okay. We're gonna release the spring compressor and we're going to pray. Slow and easy. There it is. Nice. Nice. All right. Woohoo. All retainers and keepers have been installed on the exhaust side successfully. You'll see the process, or you've seen the process probably by now with the way I order my footage, but yeah, nice. Okay, well, this is pretty much going to sit now for another week. The intake valves need to be cleaned, and then I'm going to do the same on the intake side, and then that's it. And we're going to put it back together. I'm going to clean the head, obviously, a nice thorough cleaning, but that's fine. We're going to clean up the valves and reassemble, and that's going to be fantastic. I'm very excited for more RPM. You know, that's going to be sweet, especially on the track. So, anyways.